what if the year 2025 looked drastically different? What if Rome still reigned supreme? Imagine an empire that never collapsed, a global power with 2,000 more years of uninterrupted development. Would we have flying chariots instead of cars, or a universal language rooted in Latin? Join us as we unravel the shocking, yet captivating, possibilities of a world where Rome never fell. If Rome had never collapsed in 476 AD, the entire course of human history would look unrecognizable. First, a colossal empire. As the reformed Roman Empire flourished, its dominion might have extended to encompass the entirety of Eurasia. The once mighty Huns, Goths, and Vandals could have been absorbed into the empire, becoming integral parts of a vast multicultural realm. The frontiers of this expanded empire would have reached from the frozen plains of modern-day Russia to the shores of the Pacific Ocean in the east. Within this grand dominion, countless diverse peoples would have found themselves united under the banner of Rome. The very concept of Europe as we know it might have ceased to exist, replaced by a singular Roman identity that transcended geographical boundaries. Cities across this expansive empire, such as Constantinople, Alexandria, and Antioch, would have continued to thrive as centers of trade and culture, each contributing to the richness and complexity of Roman life. A golden age of trade and infrastructure. The continued growth and prosperity of the Roman Empire would have led to an unprecedented golden age of trade. Along the established trade routes, merchants would traverse vast distances, connecting markets from one end of the empire to the other. In the absence of significant disruptions, these trade networks might have expanded to include even the distant lands of India and China. Luxurious goods such as spices, silks, and precious metals would have flowed freely through the empire, stimulating economic growth and cultural exchange. The Roman road network, renowned for its engineering marvels, could have continued to expand, reaching into the farthest corners of the Eurasian landmass. These roads would not only facilitate military movement, but also serve as arteries for trade and communication. The Pax Romana, or Roman peace, might have fostered an environment of stability and security, ensuring the safety of merchants and their valuable goods as they traverse these extensive networks. Furthermore, Rome's naval supremacy would have allowed for the dominance of the seas, facilitating maritime trade and exploration. Roman galleys would have patrolled the Mediterranean, the Black Sea, and even parts of the Atlantic, combating piracy and ensuring the smooth flow of commerce by sea. This continued naval superiority might have led to the discovery of new lands and resources, further expanding the reach and wealth of the Roman Empire. 3. A Latin legacy. The Latin language, born in ancient Italy, would have continued to serve as the primary language of the Roman Empire for centuries. As Rome's dominion expanded, Latin would have evolved and diversified, giving rise to various dialects across its vast territories. Due to the empire's longevity, Latin might have become the most widely spoken language in the world, transcending geographical boundaries and supplanting languages such as Greek and Arabic, which otherwise would have risen to prominence. In a world where Latin prevailed, communication between people of diverse cultures within the empire would have been standardized, fostering greater unity and interaction. Literature, law, and scholarship would have flourished in Latin, shaping the intellectual landscape of the ancient and medieval worlds. As centuries passed, this linguistic dominance might have influenced the development of Romance languages such as Spanish, French, and Portuguese, although these linguistic descendants might have emerged later in time than in our own timeline. 4th, scientific continuity. If Rome had not fallen, the scientific knowledge and advancements of the ancient world could have been preserved and built upon. potentially leading to an earlier Renaissance and a different trajectory for scientific progress. Greek and Roman engineers and scientists, renowned for their innovations in mathematics, astronomy, and engineering, could have continued to make discoveries and develop technologies. The Roman Empire's vast libraries, such as the legendary Library of Alexandria, might have remained repositories of ancient wisdom, safeguarding invaluable texts and scrolls from destruction. This continuity of learning would have provided a strong foundation for future generations to expand upon. Additionally, the empire's stability and resources could have supported long-term research projects and ambitious engineering endeavors. Without the disruptions caused by the collapse of Rome and the subsequent Dark Ages, scientific progress might have been accelerated. Fields such as medicine, optics, and mechanics could have advanced significantly earlier than in our own timeline, potentially leading to innovations that might have changed the course of history. 5. No Dark Ages. The fall of the Roman Empire traditionally marks the beginning of the so-called Dark Ages in European history, a period characterized by a decline in literacy, education, and overall societal progress. However, in a world where Rome never fell, such a dark age would have been averted. The continued stability and prosperity of the empire would have ensured the preservation of knowledge and cultural achievements. Education and scholarship would have remained valued pursuits, allowing for the transmission of classical learning from one generation to the next. Furthermore, the absence of widespread societal collapse would have prevented the destruction of libraries, manuscripts, and works of art that occurred during the tumultuous periods that followed the fall of Rome. Consequently, there would have been no interruption in the flow of history, allowing for a more seamless transition into the medieval period. Without the disruptions of the Dark Ages, advancements in areas such as literature, philosophy, and science might have occurred earlier, shaping a different medieval era. 6. Cultural syncretism. If Rome had endured, cultural syncretism within its vast empire would have reached new heights. The empire's longevity would have facilitated extensive interactions among diverse peoples, leading to the fusion of various cultural traditions. For example, Roman art might have incorporated elements of Egyptian, Greek, and Asian aesthetics, creating unique and hybrid artistic styles. Religious practices would have also likely blended, with Roman polytheism potentially incorporating aspects of monotheistic faiths such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. This fusion of religious ideas could have led to the emergence of new cults, mystery religions, or philosophical schools that combined elements of different belief systems. Language would have played a crucial role in this cultural exchange, with Latin, the primary language of Rome, absorbing words and phrases from other languages within the empire. The result would have been a rich and complex cultural tapestry, a mosaic of influences from across Eurasia. 7th, reformed institutions. Had Rome not fallen in 476 AD, its governmental and societal institutions might have undergone significant reforms and adaptations to address the challenges of maintaining a vast and diverse empire. The Roman Senate, despite facing internal power struggles, could have evolved into a more representative and efficient governing body, perhaps adopting elements of republican institutions to balance the power of the emperor. The imperial administration might have implemented measures to ensure greater accountability and effectiveness among its officials, reducing corruption and improving public services. Moreover, the Roman legal system, renowned for its sophistication, could have continued to develop, incorporating legal concepts from other cultures within the empire. The result would have been a more robust and adaptable set of laws that better serve the needs of a diverse and expansive empire. 8th, technological evolution. If Rome had not fallen, technological advancements within the empire might have continued to evolve, shaping a different trajectory for innovation. Roman engineers and inventors, known for their accomplishments in architecture, Road building and military technology could have made further discoveries and improvements. Without the disruptions caused by the collapse of Rome, there would have been no interruption in the development and spread of technologies such as the water wheel, the crane, and other labor-saving devices. These technological advancements could have facilitated increased efficiency in agriculture, manufacturing, and construction. Additionally, the stability and resources of a continuous Roman Empire might have supported large-scale infrastructure projects, including the expansion of aqueducts, public works, and fortifications. Imagine a world where aqueducts were not just functional marvels, but sophisticated systems capable of supplying water to millions across the empire. A world where fortifications were not just defensive structures, but integrated with advanced signaling and communication systems, allowing for rapid troop deployment. Such a world would be vastly different from our own. Ninth, Chinese collaboration. It's highly probable that around the year 1000, China was already quite advanced. In fact, paper had already been invented and was used widely by scholars and merchants. Gunpowder had also been invented, but wasn't widely used yet. In this alternate timeline, when Rome was still flourishing, perhaps Emperor Trajan, who ruled Rome at the height of its territorial expansion, could have reached out to China, forming an alliance against common enemies. Through diplomatic missions or perhaps even military campaigns, Romans could have brought back gunpowder technology to Rome. While China might have eventually figured out how to use it for weaponry, Rome could have beaten them to the punch. This exchange could have been mutually beneficial, with China gaining access to Roman engineering and scientific knowledge while Rome acquired gunpowder, shaping the technological trajectories of both civilizations. In conclusion, our journey through a world where Rome never fell reveals the immense impact this pivotal event had on the course of human history. From the expansion of the empire to scientific continuity, cultural syncretism, and technological evolution, the consequences of Rome's endurance are nothing short of astonishing.